Welcome to the Whitetail Advantage Podcast with your host, Brett Bovin. Thank you for tuning in and enjoy the show.
What is up, everyone? You know what? I was listening to some podcasts last week, mainly in the hunting realm that we are, and I listened to the same stuff, and it's the same thing after same thing with the same show after same show. They say the same fucking intro over and over and over again. Generally, we kind of do it too, but then they try to sell you, oh, you gotta check out this and use this promo code right here, and then check this out and this promo code. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, I'm gonna feed that stuff. I get annoyed by it. I'm like, just start the show. And next thing I know, I'm 30 minutes into the damn thing, and I haven't even heard what the heck the show's even about or anything. Maybe it's just me. I just get a little frustrated with it all. I'm like, let's just start the show, man. And we all know.
Let's start it.
Like, everyone knows how our show's set up. We're not politically correct. We speak our minds. We speak how we see the truth. But I also do like to say, put your cord in the slot machine, help share the show, help grow the show. And thank you to all the men and women in the military. Thank you to all the police officers and the firefighters, corrections officers, everyone out there for your service. We greatly appreciate it here at Whitetail Advantage. And that's my spiel for my intro. I mean, am I wrong? Do you guys listen? Do you guys hear the same shit?
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying.
I follow the bearded guys there, from the Duck Dynasty. They have like a good show podcast. But yeah, it's like every 30 seconds. Well, you should check out blah, 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 blah. And it's like, come on, man, just get to the point.
That being said, what you should do is really check out our show. Check us out at Whitetail Advantage Podcast. Go ahead and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And Squatch, he has a Grinder account. Brett has a Grinder account. I've got an OnlyFans account. Go ahead, follow us there. And on that note, get the show going, guys.
You got to be more specific about my Grinder. It's a meat grinder account.
That's right.
It shows me in the butcher shop grinding all the venison and stuff.
Watch us grind that sausage, if you know what I mean.
It ain't no pornographic grinder stuff.
I got freaking poison ivy. I had to go to the hospital to get a refill on my steroids. So that sucks. I got some on my neck and the back. I got like this giant scar, like right around like a Mike Tyson type shit. And then I got like this like little rash right here in my wrist.
Did you climb a tree when you were hunting with the vines on it?
Nah, I think it was last week. I found a spot. I'm not going to kill a giant buck on my property this year, but I was looking at it for next year, and I saw this tree, and I was like, this would be great to saddle hunt out of. It's got everything. It looks amazing. It looks perfect. So, and I think there were some vines that I was cutting down. I didn't realize they were poison oak vines. So,
oh man,
yeah,
it's so funny because I was going to say the same exact thing. Dave and I think too much alike.
What?
He said, "How do you get poison ivy watching football?"
His wife made him a salad.
I was going to say, what the hell? How the hell do you catch poison ivy playing golf?
I did play around a golf on Friday. I will say that. Yeah. So that was kind of fun to get with some buddies. Haven't seen them in a couple weeks.
Nice.
And played around golf with them. And no, I said it before, and I'm proudly say it. I don't hunt on Saturdays. I like to sit at home, spend time with the family, and watch college football. That's my Saturdays. That's what I do. So
that's a regular.
I don't hunt weekends because I have my kids, but I mean, I go fishing with them. They love fishing, so
yeah.
I guess that's not bad.
I was going to take everyone to it was my 6-year anniversary on Saturday. I was going to take everyone to Rhizome to Gold Medal Farms.
Oh yeah, that's a fun place.
My son got the croup or cruff, whatever that thing's called, and
the croup cough.
Croup.
He goes,
yeah. So like, nah, we're just gonna stay home, like that. Other than that, I have had a shitty hunting season. I will say this though, I did get a chance to run and gun it with Johnny one day on Thursday, so that was a experience.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually a lot of fun trying to move things around and see how that went. And
So,
it
yeah,
sucked the first like couple hours because it nonstop rained.
so we'll backtrack it. You know, Brett he calls me. He's like, "Hey, I'm getting off work early. Do you want to hunt?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, that's what we're planning on. Let me leave work early. We'll meet at my place." So we meet at my place, dude. And the entire ride in, it's raining. And I get to my house, and Brett's waiting for me. We get inside. I'm like, "All right, do you have any wet weather gear? Do you have a rain top or anything?" He's like, "No, man. I just checked the radar. It's not going to rain. It's going to end at like 15 minutes." I'm like, "All right, cool." Then I remember the other day I was sitting on a piece of land hunting, and it was hailing and raining. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to bring my raincoat just in case. So I packed it in my bag. I go, or Brett and I, we leave. We get to the spot, and it just starts pissing. And I'm like, all right, it's not too bad, you know. Brett gets set up, and I make sure he's up there, and I go off, and I set up in my spot, and I'm like, fuck this. Put my raincoat on, man. I'm like, all right, nice and dry. Well, man, I feel bad for Brett. He's sitting there in the rain. That rain didn't stop, like, all night. It would, like, get sunny, and the rain would stop, and the wind would pick up and just drop all the rain that was on the leaves onto us.
Yeah.
And then it would start raining again. I'm like, nope, raincoat staying on. And I stayed dry. So,
Yeah. I'll say this. I had my heated vest, and I had that thing cranked up to high. Yeah. And towards the end of it, like, it was still like, or it was around 4:30, 5 o'clock, and it just went like black. Like, it just seemed like it came out of nowhere. I blinked. I'm like, I can't see shit. I'm like, all right, so we got a couple hours left.
Yep.
And towards the end of it, I think it was around 6:15. So we still have a good another hour, 45 minutes left of shooting light left. But I couldn't sit still because my left leg has like fucking threats and just flopping around.
Oh boy.
All right, I'm done. I can't.
Yeah.
Like, I felt warm everywhere around, and I couldn't control my left leg. I had to lock it in just to be able to sit still.
Now, how was it for you the first time being out in the saddle and experiencing rain, like having to climb back down, pack up your set in the pouring rain? I mean, that's got to be rough the first time really having experienced that. I mean, was it tough for you?
It was nerve-wracking, but I just remembered all right, that's how I got up here. Just do it all in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
Take your time. I've been in stressful situations before.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, just take a deep breath. This is the situation you're in. This is how you get yourself out of it. And it was a little freaky at first. And I remember Johnny, because I was like getting nervous. I'm like, oh, I want to look good in front of Johnny. And I'm trying to scrum around, trying to get up the tree and make it do it quick and look at it like this. And he goes, no, slow down, smooth as fast, as fast as smooth. And
slow is smooth.
Yeah, slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
Yep.
And so all right, I just remembered everything I did to get up there and just did it all in reverse and came back down. And
so I just wanted to update you too. That aider modification that I did works great. It helped me. I didn't want to lose how much I gained with those aiders, you know, instead of carrying that one extra step.
Yeah.
Man, I got to tell you, man, I used it the other day. I mean, it's still not as nice as I wish it would be, but it's a hell of a lot better. I can get my center of my foot on it and then get my next step down. I can kick with my toe and kind of get my foot in alongside of it and come down. And then the last one I don't even have to use because, I mean, would just be like a little bit of a step up from the ground. But yeah, what a difference, man. It really, really helped me with my setup.
That's good.
The only thing are you using a 2-step or a 3-step aider?
Mine is a 3-step. It's a 3-step XOP aider. That's the one that they give you. Like, it was, I want to say it was like $19.99 or something.
Yeah, it's like $20-$25.
Yeah, it was you know, that's the one XOP sells. But yeah, it's a 3-step. It's a 3-step aider. So when I'm 5'5", so I mean I put the top of the step on my 2-step, that's about as high as I can reach. So I'm probably reaching almost 6 foot. I'm putting the am steel around the tree. Probably close to, like maybe almost 6 feet. and that aider's maybe a foot off the ground at the first step, so it's not bad. And out of my 4-stick setup, I'm probably hitting 16, 17 feet. I mean, it's higher than my ladder stand, and my ladder stand's 15. So it's plenty. I mean, it's perfect. This setup I just put here, by the house is it's great because those sticks and everything that I have and that XOP Superfly, that doesn't make an impression on, like, it's like everything's see-through. It's hard as hell to see. Like, I had to look for it when I went back in, and but it's awesome. It's like, it's like skeletonized the way it sits against the tree. So it doesn't block, like, some stands stick right out. They're blocky and they're like a light gray or something. Everything's brown and dark brown, and it blends in really good. And I sit right up by this. I mean, I'm literally above the water where I'm sitting in the tree. I'm right on the bank of the pond that's there. And it's just like crucial because the way the run comes through there's big willow trees in there that cracked and broke off where they used to walk a little bit further away from the lake, and it actually squeezes them right to the lake. And I kicked, just so you guys know, rut update, they're getting musty. The deer are getting musty. I kicked the doe up, and I had her on camera down there where I'm hunting. It was like 5 o'clock. It was like 5:45 when I left the house, and I have literally like not even a 30-second walk to get to the stand. I kicked her up. I thought she went to the orchard. She actually was coming back towards my stand more when she bedded. I kicked her up. She ran in front of me on that run. And oh my God, it was like I sprayed hot the trot like up my nose. That's how potent she was. So that explains she's hanging down there. That's why that big buck has been coming in there and perusing around and trying to wind her and find out when she's in there. And it's, you know what? The piece of land that's next to my house is a perfect transition zone to get out to the good orchard from the swamp that's across the street, and then an orchard beyond that. And I'm talking, dude, it's like 10, 15 acres of a little narrow strip of land, but there's 2 ponds in there that are pretty good size that block it. And they're filtering over always towards my side. And I have a ladder stand right on the edge of the orchard that I can shoot out into the orchard. But I was afraid that big buck would come in and skylight me now that the canopy's starting to wear out. And I said, I'm going to make a sneaky set in there and just get up in there. And I found that tree, and I think it's going to pay off. But, they play games, and you got to just watch them daylight, man. I'm watching my cameras religiously. Everything has slowed down. I had one buck move over on the other property where I was putting a lot of time in last night. I think he was through there about 8:45, 9 o'clock, and he didn't hit any of my other cameras in there. So he's making a hard left and going north. We had a fucking 350-pound mother bear in there with 4 cubs. My son was in the tree, and a neighbor down the road had the bear on his trail camera, and he's like, "Hey, if you're out, be careful. There's a mother and 4 cubs walking around." I said, "Okay." I called them guys. I texted them. I said, "Hey, be careful over there on the property. There's a bear." My son's sitting there, and he's like, "Holy shit, Pop, the bear's coming." I'm like, "Well, get ready." So she walked about 50, 60 yards away from him, but one cub straight off. He thought it was going to come up the tree to him.
Oh,
and
man.
Got it on. I have to send you guys the video. I got it on a text.
I do know that like my buddy, I think it was it was the week I shot that doe. He shot a buck the same day.
Yeah.
It was like last Tuesday or something like that. I don't know. And he had buck station does already, and I'm like, holy shit, that was quick. Like I said on my phone, like for the 25th, like the pre-rut generally happens, just like kind of like a basis that go off of, and yeah, they're already chasing. And one thing I do want to say, and I think I caught myself into it, so maybe other people might be catching themselves in it. We get so caught up on, look at all this new hunting gear, like look at all this new saddle hunting gear, and this and this for all to make yourself more successful. When we see like these videos, like one of these saddles I was looking at, you see more of like look at these big deer, look at me out in the woods and the setting on this and that. And you see like little glimpses of the actual product.
Yeah.
And it forces you into like thinking, oh, if I get this, I'm going to have that happen to me. Instead of, we have to remember that these are just products to help aid you into being successful out there in the field. You have to remember basically, and I'm only saying this because I know I've caught myself into it this year. That's for a fact. I got myself so caught up in, oh, I got to get all this saddle gear, this, and this, and this to make myself successful. And I already got a successful layout for myself already.
Yeah.
But I felt like I needed to get all this stuff, this and that for saddle gear and whatnot. And I got so caught up into that I forgot about the hunt, forgot about getting prepared for the deer and stuff like that. So I just want people to get.
Yeah, I completely get where you're coming from. And that's what the summer is for me. That's when I buy all my new gear. That's when I got all my SOP stuff. I got all my other hunting stuff. And then that way, throughout the summer and, as it transitions into hunting season, that's when I start trying out all the gear. I got a decent tree in my backyard that I can try all my stuff in.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate enough that way where I can do that. And I shoot religiously from that tree. I'll try the SOP saddle, right? I'll put that on. I'll shoot with that. I'll make any adjustments that I have to. I'll try different platforms. That way I can buy all the shit that I need and that I want during the summer. I try it out. What I don't like or what I don't feel comfortable using, flip around and sell it on Marketplace right before season starts. That's pretty much what I do.
I did that too. I mean, right away I bought the Superfly because just getting older, my knees have been giving out more and more. It's just hell on my knees. I love saddle hunting. Don't get me wrong; it's fine for a couple hours, but I like to sit for long periods of time. I wanted something that was still mobile. I talked to Dave about it, and he uses the Roam. It was a little bit still heavy, 7.5 pounds. I was like, nah. So I bought the Superfly. I spent the little bit more money on the Superfly. I like it. The seat could be a little bit more comfortable, but you got to remember, it's more of just a run and gun kind of stand. It's not like an all-day comfort stand. So there's gives and takes. I did buy the Micro C straps for it. They're coming. I think they're coming Tuesday.
Nice.
Nothing wrong with the AM steel cord that holds you to the tree, but going around the tree 3 times around the button and then down to a cleat, it's kind of like, I don't need to do that bullshit. They got a loop, and then you cinch it down with the mini straps, and the thing's done. Set it and forget it. It just adds quickness to your setup. It's less fumbling around with shit in the dark. And I trust it. I think I trust it a little more than a couple of wraps around something and something.
Well, that's why I like that HFAS thing that Dave told me about it first, and then I eventually bought it. That thing, like you said, it's extremely lightweight. It's I'm gonna say it's just a piece of string, but it's a strong piece of string, and all you do is just flip it around, and then it's just like an 8, like it's got a Prusik knot in it. You just pull it tight, and there you go, and it's cinched in, and it's gonna hold 200 pounds of me. I just weighed myself today. I reached my goal of getting 200. So that's
what were you at?
I was 225 in March. I finally hit 200 pounds. So I got my goal. I knew it was a couple more months than I wanted, but I'm happy about it. Anyways, no, I thought it was I really liked that setup. It's very nice. Now, if I'm going to I told Johnny when I went out hunting with him, I wouldn't use those strings if I'm going to put those sticks out there in the tree and leave them there. Because I sunk a lot of money into those. Are very nice. I'd use this more for a mobile setup. I'd use the cam buckle straps mainly. But I love Johnny's one stick method. Like if you're going to do a one stick thing like he does, he's got the perfect shit for it.
So with my setup, what I've done is I use I've tried the SOP stick. I tried the X2 and it was okay. It wasn't bad. It worked. But what I do now is and what I did the last 2 seasons is I have a Muddy Pro. It's just got one rope that goes around the tree and a cleat that you just lock it into. Right. That's what I use. I know XP is a huge sponsor of the show, and I absolutely love their stuff. I have a platform that I use of theirs. But what I do is with that one stick method, it works perfect for me. And once I get to the height that I'm hunting, I set the platform up, lock it down. Then once I'm on the platform, I'll reach down and I'll grab my muddy stick. I set that up, and that's now my bow hanger, and it works perfect for me. Once the hunt's over with, I'll take my bow down, lower it down, grab that one stick, and use that, and just do everything in reverse.
It's nice
Johnny,
it's so lightweight too, and you've done everything like perfect. Like,
I want Johnny
lightweight.
Johnny, do a video of that with you one stick.
I'll do that.
I'm too fat. I know I'm going to flip over and hurt myself or throw a rib out of place or something, but I want to see how you do it, because I'm all for lightweight and getting into something quick and doing a setup. And I mean, I got a pretty slick setup. I mean, taking it down, putting it up, I'm about 15 minutes. I mean, that's like soup to nuts done, sitting down, ready to shoot. You know what I mean? It could be a little faster. I'm sure the more I'll do it, the faster I'll get. But
absolutely.
I'm interested. I'm interested to see. I've watched other people do it, and I'm not sold. But, Brett, I had a question for you. I noticed in your picture, you're using your tether with your bridge as your safety to climb. How come you're not using your lineman's belt when you climb?
I'm actually going to start trying to do that more. I just done what Johnny was doing with his one stick method, just using his tether and climbing up.
Right.
I did notice that, one, you can't do it with your bino harness on.
Right.
Two, it seems to take a little bit longer for me to do it that way, because I got a stick, and then I got to climb up, cinch in, and then do another stick.
Yeah.
Johnny's way of doing it with just the tether, you have to do it in that way, because that way he doesn't fucking fall down.
Right. You got to sit down to reach down and grab the stick up. I know
exactly. So to do it with the sticks that I have, I'm going to be just switching and using an actual lineman rope. So that way I can kind of just go up and then boom, there you go. Boom, there I'm up. And probably get up a lot quicker that way. So I think that's probably one reason why it's taking me so long to get up. But yeah, that's just something I've learned from Johnny doing it that way. But I realized I'm doing 4 sticks compared to his 1, so he needs to do it that way.
Now, I also have a couple permanent trees that I hunt out of. Yeah. And what I'll do is I will have a 30-foot rope, and I have 2 cruciate knots on that. And I'll use that rope as my guide rope. So I'll clip onto the top cruciate knot, and on the bottom cruciate knot, I'll sink it all the way to the bottom and just clip my bow into that. So I'm climbing, I'm adjusting, I'm climbing, adjusting. And then once I get to the position I'm in, I no longer have that lineman's rope tied to the tree or anything. I just have that single rope. Mm-hmm. I get to where the height that I want to be. I'm already clipped into the tree. There's no additional ropes. And I just pull my bow right up. That excess rope, I don't like to have it dangling down. So I just wrap it all up, set it up there in the tree.
I will say this, Johnny, I don't even know if Dave's part of the team anymore. Because he doesn't accept anything. He deleted himself all from Whitetail Advantage shit. And then he doesn't accept anything. So I'm going to call you out, Dave. You text and everything. Yeah, we love you, but I don't know if you're part of the team anymore.
Listen, Dave's always part of the team. I don't want to hear that bullshit.
That's Uncle Nunchuck.
Damn Dave, Nunchuck Dave.
Yeah,
Dave,
even though he's got family stuff that he's got to attend to on Sunday nights. That's why he's not on.
I will say this though. Dave's giving me a lot of advice, especially after I shot that doe. So I will say that. I will say another thing I want to say is we get like saddle hunting. I was kind of skeptical of even doing it because I was like, you know how you get those new TV shows they come on and you like Breaking Bad, and they're like, oh, everyone comes to work to talk about Breaking Bad and you haven't watched it yet. You're like, fuck that. I'm not going to watch that show because I don't want to be a part of the clique or anything. It's kind of like the same thing with saddle hunting. It seems like it's the new clique these days. Like if you aren't saddle hunting, you're not really hunting, or are you? And you're not part of the cool clique and shit like that.
Right.
That was me. I was kind of skeptical to get in this all, but it was a lot It's a lot of fun, a lot of cool things, and all it really does, excuse me, is it gives you another option. Like you can't have like I love what I call is my tactical toolbox.
Yeah.
Everything I can use to help me in being successful out there in the field. Saddle hunting just gives me that ability to be more successful out there in the field. It's something I've added to my tactical toolbox, and I can always improve upon it. So just look at it that way, and we can't forget that at the end of the day, we're out there. And I said in one of the videos I'll be posting here, hopefully in the next couple of months, we got to remember at the end of the day, we are hunting live creatures to fill the freezer. And these are, like I said, these are live animals we are trying to harvest. We can't forget about the actual hunt itself. You don't get caught up in too much of the gear talk and all this gear shit. Yeah, we can talk at that shit till we're blue in the face. But at the end of the day, this is an animal that you are taking its last, you are going out there to hunt to take its heartbeat away so you can fill it for your freezer.
Hey, brother, I'll be right back. I gotta check the door real fast. Be right back. I'm just gonna mute it.
Yeah. But
yeah, so the like you're saying, you know, you need to have the tools. It's the price of doing business, like I always say.
Yeah.
You need to have the tools, and you're not going to know what works for you and what doesn't work for you through all the hearsay until you actually lay hands on it, try it yourself. And if it doesn't work out, there's always a spot for it on Marketplace, like Johnny said. You know, you can always try different things.
Yep.
I mean, hey, kudos to Dave for you know, getting us the XOP hookup that we have. And
yes,
I do like their stuff. I really like the way their stuff is made. It's good quality. They've been actually pretty quick with getting stuff out. They were out on the straps and they got them in within, I think they notified me like 2 days later that they were back in stock. I ordered them right away, and it's good shit, man. But you gotta, you know, all through the years, like I was thinking about it. I was like, God, I miss building the wood tree stands. Like, you know, put my own little signature on how I used to build them. And, you know, you had the comfort. I'm all about comfort. I want to be comfortable while I'm sitting. My lower back kills me. My upper back kills me.
Same here. I got lower back problems too, bro.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah. So you sit there and you try to get comfortable. And I'm in a lot of freaking pain sitting anymore. And I'll tell you, man, if it don't get better, I'm starting to look at like, I'm probably going to be a ground hunter, man. I'm going to have to start hunting out of blinds and doing stuff like that, or maybe like a bigger, more comfortable ladder stand, which I have a couple of, but I don't want to get away from the mobility of the stuff, you know? So I got to start doing some like core exercises more and different stuff to strength. Not that I'm not strong. My back is like, I can pick a freaking car up, but it's the sitting, the compaction in my spine that really bothers me, man. It just,
I know Millennium tree stand. Like I got a lot of Millennium tree stand stuff all over my property.
yeah.
I call it my property, but it's not my property. And they listen to the show. I know they do. You guys know what I mean. But like I got that scattered everywhere. Like before XOP, that's what I had is a lot of Millennium tree stands in there. There's seating in there, dude. Squatch, I'm telling you, you're an old fuck, but so am I when it comes to lower back problems. Like it hurts like a bitch.
Yeah.
These seats that they have, I can sit there more from sunrise to sunset. That's how much comfort are in these seats, and I don't have any lower back problems at all within those seats.
And believe it or not, the saddle doesn't bother my back. It bothers my knees. It bothers my knees.
My feet were killing me.
You know, my feet are good. Johnny. My feet are good. I can stand the pressure of my feet. It's my knees.
Now, do you sit with your knees locked out, or do you have a bench a little bit?
But I kind of teeter-totter back and forth on my knees. But what I do also, Johnny, is I'll get by the tree, I'll turn and put my shoulder like towards the tree and just kind of sit with my legs out, like sitting more in the saddle.
Yeah.
I experiment with how, like, I'll put my tether about eye height to the tree, sometimes forehead height to the tree. And then I adjust how far out, like I'm off the platform or how close I am to the tree. And I've noticed that helps. Now, Frankie did give me knee pads. to kneel against the tree, but being my legs are like tree stumps, I'm afraid when I move and if I turn, they're gonna swatch against each other and scare a buck. So I didn't want to take the chance of being like a cricket and rubbing my legs together and making noise up there. But I gotta try it. I think it'll help too if I can rest my knees with the pads against the tree. But
so with the way my setup is, I have everything center mass. My rope is tied up center mass. Everything is like right here. I know Brett was talking how you can't really do that with your bino harness because everything gets all tangled up there.
Right.
A great solution to that, just like any gear whore from the military, is I have molly pouches all over my saddle.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a pouch for my ropes. I've got a pouch, like when Brett and I went out, he's like, oh, wait, don't leave yet. I forgot my release, or I forgot whatever it was that you forgot in your truck.
Yep.
I have 2 of everything in my bag, like on my saddle. I'm like, because I don't know how many times I've gone up and I'm like, fuck, my release is in the truck. Oh, wait, I have this other one that I use.
Yeah.
Or, oh, man, like you dropped something up there, right? Shit, I'm not going to climb all the way back down and get it because I did that last year. This year, I have 2 of everything, and it works for me. And what I really like about it is that I can flip completely upside down in my saddle, and I've done it because when I first started doing the whole one-step method, I screwed up so many times. I'll drop that step, and I'm like, well, shit, now I'm stuck up here like an idiot.
Right.
Then you have to figure out how you're going to get down. And there's a lot of like hugging the tree and like lowering the rope and then sliding down it. Yeah. But now it's like, okay, well, I have D-rings on my saddle, and I have D-rings I'll never use. But I also have one that I clip like a tether in to my step. So if when we went out, Brett, it was raining, it was wet, the tree was wet, my ropes were all wet. I dropped my step and I'm like, oh shit, dropped it. It didn't fall very far, so it's tethered right to my belt. Pull it up, set it back up to the tree. But again, all spring and summer, I'm practicing with it. I'm putting myself in those scenarios where, okay, well, what happens if I drop this? What happens if I do this or that? My military, being in the military, it was your most likely course of action and your most dangerous course of action. What's going to happen? Most likely course of action, your hunt's going to go pretty boring, Most dangerous course of action, I'm going to drop all my shit and I'm going to be stuck up in a tree. How do I hinder that? How do I mitigate that risk of dropping everything? It's simple. In the Army, you tie everything down. And that's essentially what I do is I have everything tied to me. Yeah. Where if I drop something, I just lose control of it and I can pull it right back up. It works that way. It takes a lot of getting used to. And that's what the preseason is for me. It's just, I'm in the backyard, either practicing my bugle for elk hunting and my neighbor's like, what the hell is that? Or I'm climbing a tree and my neighbor's like, man, that John, dude, he's a weirdo. But it works for me.
When you one stick, Johnny, do you bring your platform with you or you're standing on that? Okay, so you do have a platform at the top.
I have my backpack on me.
I
have my my platform attached with the quick clips right on the back. So once I get to the height that I want to be, I'm secured in the tree. I undo one strap, swing the backpack around, and I sit it on my lap. Yeah. So everything is right here, and I'm just working with it. Yep. I take it out, set it up, pull it in, lock it down. Yeah. Then I climb up to that, and then I bend down, grab the stick. I always have a positive, control over everything. I'm always connected to the tree.
Yeah.
Now, being a one-step guy, you're going to get to a point where there's a giant limb that you need to get your rope around. So you need to disconnect that. That's when I have another rope. So I make sure that I'm secured that rope to the top of the tree above that branch. Yeah. Bring that cruciate knot down, clip into that. Once I have the 2 cruciate knots clipped into it, I just undo that bottom one. I'm still in the tree, take that one down, move it up, and just almost like leapfrogging it. Mm-hmm. And I'll do that, 2 or 3 different times if I have to.
Yeah.
I think because obviously I got my my saddle like 2 weeks before hunting season. So a lot of this stuff was just learning on the go, learning on the fly,
Yep.
like this, and this, like right off the get. So I didn't have a lot of time to like prep and figure out what I liked and didn't like. I'm kind of like doing it on the fly.
Right.
So I am excited to finally get more of a full preseason under my belt and figure out, all right. And definitely one thing, I'm gonna be putting my platform right on the tree, like 2 inches off the ground, and just figuring out where I like my saddle, like where I like positions on it and everything and this and that and everything, boom, ready to go. I've always, like when I was in the police academy, I was taught by military guys, well, be prepared for the unprepared type of situations. And so having 2 of everything is like ideal to, but one thing Dave asked, he said something on here real quick. It just caught me. He said my knees kill me too in saddle after an hour.
Yeah.
I'm sure your knees too hurt after an hour without having a pillow on your knees there, don't you there, Dave? But no, I'm excited to get like full preseason under me and get out there and get some trees more prepped and put some sticks out there from XOP, get them preset, ready to go. Dave asked, what platform you guys got? Right now, I got the Edge platform from XOP. Love you guys at XOP, but if that's a one you want to move around and run a gun with, you're gonna find it's pretty heavy. I'll say that.
So
I got the workhorse. Mine's a tethered workhorse platform.
So I run the XOP platform that you have, Brett, and it's like you said, it's about 5 pounds. My other platform is a tethered Predator.
Yeah,
that's 2.3.
Yep.
That's a lot, half the weight. 2.5 pounds, some people will be like, oh, that's not that much difference. It really
makes a difference when you're carrying a lot of shit.
When you're carrying a lot of weight, yeah, it is. Or if, like I was telling you, Brett, if you're going to go out for just a quick hunt and you don't want to carry that backpack with your platform on it and all your other shit, just clip it right to your saddle. You can D-ring it and run a loop around that platform, clip it into that. Well, now you have 5 pounds on one side and kind of like leans you over and running and gunning out of trees and stuff. You lean, and if you have a really long rope, like I use a 30-foot rope, and once that's up there, as you're climbing it, if you're not hugging that tree or you let go to grab your step to bring it up, you tend to swing around the tree.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to make a video on how I do it. It's I've learned a lot on what to do, what not to do, and how to fix those issues. So this if you want to, Brett, sometime either this week or next week, probably hit the woods and we'll make a quick video before we hunt, because it doesn't take very long for me to get up and down a tree and explain what I do.
Yeah, it's one thing I definitely want to be doing with Johnny here. If we can't do it here soon, because I know that you and I are gonna be hitting the woods here hard because the rut's gonna be coming on. Johnny and I are going to be spending a lot of time in the off season to make some good videos of what to do, what not to do, and shit like that. How to prepare and stuff like that, because it's going to be a good experience, because he's going to be he will be playing the role of the more experienced one. So I'm going to be playing it as the unexperienced one. So I'm going to be asking, I feel like, the perfect questions, because I'm going to be like, and I'm not afraid to ask the quote unquote stupid questions, because I'm going to ask, like, what do you do in this situation? Because you guys know I plan for all types of different scenarios.
Yeah.
And so I might have a good question that you guys might not think of, and this and that. And we're not going to be like all the other how-to videos. No, I want us to make sure that we do videos from top to bottom, and we're not going to cut corners of, well, we're going to save time, we're going to pretend this is already here. Fuck no. I want to know how you did that and carry everything.
Yeah, I'm going to give you the worst case scenario on what happens.
Yeah.
And I've had it where I drop shit and I have to do a complete 180 in the saddle, and I'm upside down fucking trying to get something figured out. Yeah. And a huge thing that I preach it about checking your gear, make sure everything is right and safe. And when we were out in the woods Thursday, Brett, I was up in the tree and I just happened to look at my cruciate knot that I'm secured into. And that was it. There's a giant fray right there.
Whoa. Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's my last time using this rope. It's been a couple, it's lasted me a couple seasons. And all I did is just take another piece of rope like this and make another double cruciate knot. And that's all it is. Now that one's going to be a cat toy.
So I got to just ask you guys quick. I run an ascender from my bridge to my tether, and then I put another ascender on my lineman's belt. This way I can rapidly adjust, as I go up the tree to the thickness of the tree at the bottom as it tapers and gets smaller near the top. Because I used to have to fight with the Prusik knot on my rope when I.
Oh, you mean like a Kong?
Yes, like it's. Yeah, I got a different brand than the Kong, but it's the same kind of difference, really. It's the same. My ascender that I have is a Mad Rock on my coming down to my bridge. That one's either way, and that has a brake. You can actually descend with that too. I was talking to a rock climbing buddy of mine. I noticed that my Mad Rock will creep a little tiny bit if it's positioned a certain way. Yep. And other people have noticed it. I talked to my rock climbing buddy. You know what he said? Dude, tie a knot in behind it.
Exactly.
He's like, you got nothing. He's like, they all do it. He's like, just tie a knot in your tether. Just tie a knot. He goes, you're not going to go anywhere. I'm like, yeah, that's freaking so simple. Why didn't I think of it? And he's like, just do that. But the reason why I asked my cousin Bri, who's watching right now on the show here too, he's new to saddle hunting as of like this last year. He got into it right near the end last year, I believe. He saw my setup. I noticed today when he sent me a video, he's using the Prusik knot on his bridge and he's using the Prusik knot on his lineman's. And I said, hey, I sent him the link. I was like, buy yourself 2 of these. You're going to freaking love it. It saves so much bullshit with sitting there having to fight the Prusik knot. Not that they're not okay. They work, but you know how it is. You want to adjust yourself up a little tighter to the tree, take some weight off a certain way you're sitting. Or lean back, you can adjust it. And, it's great, man. I mean, I like simple shit, especially in the dark. I could not stand trying to hold on to the tree with the lineman's belt, like putting the lineman's belt in my loop and then pulling that freaking Prusik knot. I do notice that the XOP rope with the carabiner and their Prusik knot is smoother than my trophy line. It's that one's a lot easier to use with my safety harness. That tether works good for my rope.
So what I want you to do one time, Squatch, is you take that cruciate knot and you grab it.
Yeah.
And instead of like fighting it and trying to figure out what to do, all you have to do is light up some slack on it and just twist it. As long as you get
that's
it,
what
like
I've done.
A quarter twist or a half twist, it will loosen it up enough where you can pull it on down.
Well, it's not so much. Pull it on up. It's not so much with the bridge rope because I had that ascender first. It's that lineman's one on my trophy. That rope is really good rope. I'm not saying it's not good rope, but it's just like I can twist it and it still just doesn't.
That's how on my saddle that I have a tethered Phantom.
Yep.
And that cruciate knot on there is super tight, and you have to. On that one, what I do is I'll take my thumb and push on that loop, and then twist it, and it's still a really tight fit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's really what we want.
Yeah. It's cool, man. Grip. It's cool. Like, he just said he ordered 2. I'm trying to let me find out what the brand name was. Ones I got. I just sent them the link to. They're I got them on Amazon. They're good. And mine actually have like a knurling on the cam part, so it actually grabs the rope. Versus like my Mad Rock is smooth all the way through, and I'm like, nah, I'd like something with a little bit more bite, Like
now with that bite, you're going to be replacing your rope a little bit more.
That's all right. I don't mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like a rope is good for at the most 2 seasons.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's what this one was. That's 2 seasons, and I just at the end of 2 seasons, swap out all your ropes. I mean,
it's just good practice.
Oh, absolutely. And you're essentially at the end of the day putting your life in the hands of that rope. So why not, spend the extra money every couple seasons and get brand new ropes?
Mine's a Sylvan.
Especially when it's only like $60. I mean, I know it makes $60 seem like it's only $60, like
Yeah.
it's cheap, but at the end of the day, it's $60. And
Oh, absolutely. Yep. That's
yeah,
a great one, Squatch.
yeah,
It's
I've seen those.
$39.99 on Amazon, man. It's made by Sylvan Rope Ascender.
Yep.
And it has it. What I like about it too, guys, is like, look, it has that little cable on it. Can you see that? I'm trying to get
That table is
That-
great as a safety feature.
And when you want to pull it, you pull it to loosen it up and give yourself slack. And like Justin was saying, he's like, yeah, he didn't like the Prusik knots either. Justin mentioned that in the comments.
Yeah, he did. He said it.
Pull it
Prusik
up,
knot
Brett. Let's see it.
sucks. I feel you, Squatch.
Yeah, man.
So the only reason I use so many cruise knots on mine is when I was in mountain warfare school, that's all we had. We had to work with the bare bones minimum.
Yep.
For the first week, I think it was. And then at the end of that, that's when they're like, oh yeah, by the way, here's all the cool guy gear. Check this stuff out.
Yep.
But it gives you that, it teaches you to not only have faith in your equipment and that, hey, yeah, it's a piece of rope, but it's going to save your life, or you can put your life in its hands.
Right.
Then at the end of that week, you're like, okay, now that you've learned this and you have the warm and fuzzy understanding about it, here's something that's a little bit better. And yeah, you can go out and you can spend hundreds of dollars on climbing equipment just for this hunt.
Yeah.
But I got my 13-year-old daughter into saddle hunting, and I started off with just a rock climbing gear, like a rock climbing harness that she'd put on and would hang on trees in the backyard and should swing from it and rappel down from it. I'm like, all right, great. Now you have an understanding. You know how the fundamentals of it all work.
Yeah, that's all.
You know the shitty equipment. Now here's some better equipment to use.
Yeah.
That way, once you do use that better equipment and you're like, oh man, this is so easy.
Yep.
Now you're in that pinch and you have to use that shitty equipment that you grew up using. You know how to use it and you're comfortable with it.
That's smart thinking. And that's kind of like how my dad taught me how to bow hunt. He taught me how to bow hunt with like finger releases growing up.
Yeah.
And he said, all right, if you learn how to shoot a bow with your fingers and be proficient at it, getting these new releases out there, and they just kind of pretty much started, but everywhere he was taking me to get a bow, they're like pushing these new releases on there because it was a new up and coming thing. It was going to be the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, nope, I want my son to learn to use his fingers.
You have to learn the fundamentals of it.
Exactly. And he said, you're going to learn, if you learn the basics of archery hunting, you learn this, everything else is going to be 10 times easier, and you're going to master it basically because you have this great fundamental base to go off of. And it sounds like that's the same thing you're doing with your kid.
My motto is you can add to, but you cannot take away from. So I give them the standards. Hey, this is how we're doing a saddle hunt. This is the standards right here. You can add special equipment to it. You can add whatever you want to make it better and easier for you. But you cannot take away from the standards and the safety features that I have already implemented with it.
Mm-hmm.
And with all of my stuff, I keep it super simple. I mean, I use the stuff I'm using now. It's definitely outdated. There's definitely better equipment out there that I could go out and spend the money on. I'm going to end up putting that money towards something different because all this stuff that I'm using now, it's the stuff that I grew up using. It's the stuff that I know works. It's not only been tested, in a hunting environment, but I've used it all over.
I do want to say, not to cut you off there, Johnny, I do have a buddy text me. He's saying he's watching the show during his work time. So thank you, Sean, for watching the show.
Right?
He said, you look sexy. Don't smile.
Nice. Nice.
But no, that's cool that you have that motto, and that's pretty sweet. But yeah, we're getting close to the end of the hour there. You guys maybe want to do one phone call or just kind of just keep wrapping it up? I think
let's have someone call in.
We want to have somebody try and call in?
Yeah.
All right.
If you guys don't know the number and you're
local right there
to let's say if you don't know the number and you're local to West Michigan, you can hit up any truck stop and it's usually on the third stall in.
Yeah.
Call for a good time.
Yep.
You're so funny.
It usually says for glory hole attendee, dial
That's
this number.
right.
Hey, my cousin had a question. He says, I like the saddle, but how the hell do you guys use your jacket pockets? Yeah,
I will
had
say
to
that
buy-
I don't know how yet.
No,
Okay, I have
I
this
put
one
mine
figured
out
out.
front, you know.
All
My
right.
I
jacket-
can't get in there, brother. I can't.
So when Brett and I went out, I climbed up the tree and I got all set up in my saddle without my rain gear on.
Right.
So I'm up in the tree and it's fucking raining still. And I'm like, all right, break out my rain gear. So I'm in the saddle. I put it on. You know, you're supposed to tuck it all in, and I don't. So with my rain gear, I have everything on, and I just have everything folded into the saddle, like right into that bridge. Everything just folds right into that.
Yeah.
And I've practiced it here because I shoot it would be the middle of summer, and I'll shoot with my cold weather stuff on. I'll be sweating my ass off, but I'm going to end up shooting that way in December and into January. So why not practice it, right? I don't do it all the time.
Yeah.
But that goes back to take all your shit, put it on, go out and shoot your bow. And I know a lot of people, it's easier said than done. And it looks pretty suspicious going out in like September onto public land with all your hunting stuff to set it up.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've done it where I just find a good spot, you know, not too far off the trail, and I'll set up and I'll bring a target bag out there, set it up and sling some arrows into that.
Do you guys have the problem of your tops riding up your saddle too?
Yes.
Because my lower back and my front, it was just kept sliding up, and I kept pushing it down and down. But next thing I know, my pants were actually falling down with it too. So I was like, wait a minute, do I need to put the saddle on and then the coats and stuff over that?
So I put everything on. I'll put everything on and then put the saddle on. And when I put the saddle on, I cinch it tight, like extra tight, because throughout all my movements and stuff, it's going to loosen a little bit.
Yep.
But the way Squatch was talking about how just tie a knot at the end of it. You know, you don't want that rope to slide, tie a knot. If you look at our saddles, there's a little elastic band that goes along it. Yeah. I'll cinch it tight, fold it over, and put that elastic band over the part that's hanging over the tail, essentially. And that will stop it from sliding out too far. That's essentially just like tying a knot into it. And what that does is it gives it a little bit of play, but it's not going to be over the top where at the end of your hunt, you have to hike your saddle all the way up.
The trophy line, what Brett was kind of saying, I'm fortunate with that trophy line. There's two side straps that come up towards your bridge that are adjustable, and that gives you more of a cup. Like imagine this is your hip. This gives you more of a cup. If you loosen it, it spreads it out more, so you're more straight legged. So you don't have to like worry about it like riding up. It'll kind of stay in place. I did have to mess with that though when I first got it. So it acts more like a cup, like a seat. The thing that gets me with the saddle after a while is I'm a fat ass. I got love handles. So the pinch of that saddle, and it's an extra large. I got the bigger one. But with my other jacket on, it pushes more. And it actually hurts my kidneys after a while. I got to like stand up and take that pressure off like the back part of my kidney. Because I can feel it's like, the tension of the rope is digging in that one spot, it's like, but it's all little quirks. I mean, as far as like jackets going, like you got somewhere to put your hands in your pockets to keep warm. I bought a different jacket, man. And I got this one off of Temu. It's like,
fucking Temu.
The plush, Hush Quiet. Like, it's like that soft material, but the pockets are up high in the front. And it's perfect for the saddle. You can get your hands in there. And I've got those rechargeable hand warmers off of Amazon I bought. They're like $14. Dude, those things last 20 hours. And they're hot. They're not like those
kidding.
shaky. They're not like, oh, my God, dude. I will say
that's what I use. I use the shaky ones. And dude, once my hands get cold, I'm done.
No. But I'll send you the link. They're hand warmers. They're $14. They last 20 hours. You recharge them on the C cord. You can charge it. It's got a Y in it, so you can charge them up at the same time. my old man was here tonight. He's getting older. He's got his hands get cold quick. I said, here, try these out. I had him sitting on the table from, like charging up. He's like, oh my God, buy those for me. I'm like, I got a set coming already. I know you need them.
I got the what's it called? It's a vest from Scentlock. Can't remember the name of the actual
that
vest.
was a nice vest you have. I fucking that thing.
What, Milwaukee? Yeah. Is it Milwaukee?
No, it's a
Milwaukee
vest
has a nice one too.
It's a nice Milwaukee heated vest. And you can get a different size battery pack with it. I just got the basic small one. I'm going to get the bigger one later. But it's mainly heated on the back. Got a little bit feeling in your chest. Yeah. And oh my God, I fucking love that thing. It was the best $80 I ever spent. And the reason I wanted one of those is because I wanted to cut down on the amount of layers that I was bringing out there into the woods, because I think it was a couple of years ago, I felt so thick when it was getting really cold. I was like, I gotta wear 10 layers just to stay warm. Yeah. How can I reduce the layers down so I can feel like I can take an actual clean ethical shot, compared to feeling like I'm so all scratched out with my gear and I gotta do this shit with it all.
Like the Michelin Man where you're way out here.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck? I'm like, I gotta do this shit. I'm like, fuck that. There's gotta be something out there. And I found that vest, and it's one of the best things I'm looking for. So I'm trying to find more things that will allow me to stay more heated. I do want some of those like heated hand warmer things.
That's the one I'll send you, Johnny. That's the ones I got.
Right. Now, all right. What takes you guys out of the stand? Like quicker. Like for me, it's my.
I know Squatch is trying to get some dick on Grindr, so that's probably his top one.
Well, like once my toes get cold,
you asshole.
Like once my toes get cold,
I put flavors on the forest on it too, so it attracts more people quickly. You know.
Sorry, Johnny.
No, like, is there anything that will get you out of a tree sooner? So, like, I like to go out for all day hunts, and in the morning I'll pack up all my stuff, and I'm good for the day.
Right.
But it's like there's two things that will get me, and the other night it hit me hard where I had all my reindeer on, but yet I had that one drop of rain that hit like the back of your neck and went right down your spine. Yeah, that like negative 25 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, I'm done. I got like 15 minutes, and then that was it. That and my toes. Once my toes get cold, I'm fucking done. Like I turn into a little bitch at that point.
I can handle the extreme cold pretty damn good. As old as I am, I've learned how to weather it. But what gets me sitting anymore is my middle of my back, between my shoulder blades, my lower back, and my knees. That's the hurting thing the most. You know what I mean? You guys saw last year when it got brutal cold. I got that wooden box blind I go in with my Mr. Buddy heater in there, and the old Squatch is pretty comfortable in there. I like it.
Nice.
But yeah, I would say the biggest thing is just not being comfortable in my back. That's the killer for me, is just having to get out of the tree. And then, I suffer with it so much. Like I didn't even go out. I didn't go out today. I was in pain this morning when I woke up. I was like, I'm not going. I really wanted to, but I was just like, you know what? I got to work tomorrow, and if I'm hurting, then I can't do the job. And I'm like, I got to give myself a day of rest. I really do.
No, I think for me, my toes get it, but fuck. But I just suck it the fuck up. But a lot of my stands, I can sit in there, and my knees, once those get cold, and I start to shiver, and I can't control my leg shaking, then it's like, all right, I'm not going to be able to pull off a clean, ethical shot. So there's no point in me sitting in this tree anymore.
Right.
Other than that, I might sit in there just to sit out there.
Right.
But I'm not going to pull a shot unless I know I can do it cleanly and ethically.
Right.
But at that point, no. I think once my knees are done, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for me, I have like when we were going out, Brett, I had some certain music going on in the truck, and I had it up rather loud. Do you guys have like a said song or music that you listen to as you're going out? I know, Squatch, you hunt basically right out of your house, where Brett and I have to drive a little bit. But do you have that one song that you have to listen to?
Yeah.
Or like a ritual?
I got
What
one
is
song. It's Time Bomb.
Okay.
Time Bomb. Like I gotta throw that into it. Might not have to be the first one or anything, but I gotta listen to that song before I eventually get to my destination. I like that rock and roll, get me fucking hyped, pumped up, and ready to rock and roll type shit. Like, get me the fuck out there and let's do this fucking thing, man. I'm ready to go out there and kill. Yeah, I get that. I got that song on there. I got some other, I throw in a couple rap songs in there, but no, it's Time Bomb. I got that one in there. Some Five Finger Death Punch, Linkin Park. I got a lot of those songs in there, and like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, let's fucking go. Yeah, that's me.
So when I go up to the mountain, like that's a 45, almost 50-minute drive when I hunt with my son up there, I throw on like Old Whalen. I love throwing on Stranglehold. I'll listen to Fred Bear. I'll listen to Great White Buffalo. Anything like along those lines. You know, the Nuge just inspires me to get fired up early in the morning. I mean, there's nothing like kicking on Stranglehold at like 11, you know, on the volume and just freaking rocking out to get old Uncle Ted to get you going in the morning. I that's my go-tos, man. I mean, the songs, like, I if I'm in the tree and the deer are moving, it's playing in the background in my head, believe it or not.
Dude,
like,
no, because that happens to all of us. And I feel like that's something a lot of people don't talk about is the ritual going into the hunt. Like, we talk about our gear, everything that we have, but we have those rituals that we do.
Yep.
Where I have a playlist, and it's like it will start, I don't know, September. And once that starts playing, I'm like, all right, this is deer killing season coming up. Like, this is my playlist that I listen to.
Yep.
And one day I was driving my buddy. It was me, my buddy, and my cousin. We were all going out opening day. And I'm like, all right, we're going to go. And they came into my truck, and I just had it playing. And they're like, what the hell are you listening to? I'm like, dude, this is the killing music right here. Like, this is music that makes me feel like deer season starting.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, what the hell? And it takes me back to my deployment days, right?
Right.
And I'm going to feel bad because as soon as I say what I listen to, there's going to be like two responses. And it's going to be like, oh my God, you're an idiot. And then there's going to be like the guys who were deployed from like 2005 to 2010 and then be like, fuck yeah. And the first song that I listened to is I Kissed a Girl and I Liked It by Katy Perry. Go ahead and laugh. Okay. Yeah. That's
a good one. There's
that one. There's I'm Bringing Sexy Back by Justin Timberlake.
Nice.
There's that one. And then it goes into like I Hope You Die by Bloodhound Gang.
Just the flip a switch.
Oh, yeah, it flips a switch to that one. And then Meet the Wretched by Devil Driver. Like, those are my top 4 songs that I have to listen to. And Brett, you've seen how close I live to where I hunt.
Yeah.
I will sit in my truck and finish one of those songs, whatever one's playing. I'm like, the sun will be coming up.
I've done
like,
that too.
Dude, you got to go. Like, nope. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to finish this song. I'm going to enjoy it. And then I'm going to go out.
Yeah. I'm the same. I've done that too.
I feel like that's a subject that so many people don't talk about. And that so many people, like, even now, people are listening to this podcast and they're like, holy shit, he's right. Like, I have that song that I listen to and I don't even know it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. I love these. I love the hunting season. It's amazing, but I love having these hunting season shows because it's just us. I mean, we have a guest coming up here in the next couple of weeks. I talk to him, but mainly we just kind of keep it us here as a team and we just talk shit, how the season's going and talk most randomest crap. Generally do that though. throughout the year with our show, but we really get into just who fucking cares. Let's just talk what we want to talk about. We don't have any game plan really for our team shows. We just kind of wing it at the last minute. We're not gonna lie. We keep us straight with you guys. But I do try to think of some ideas.
Said, if anyone ever wants to call in, reach out to one of us. We'll put you on.
Exactly. But with that being said, we're going to start wrapping up for tonight. I do want to say thank you to all our fans out there and all the audience out there. We appreciate each and every one of you. We love you guys so much. We couldn't be here without you guys. I can't say thank you enough for everything that you guys done here for us and helped us out. And we want to be able to reach out to you guys and say thank you. If you need anything from us, please reach out to us. We have ample time to answer any of your questions, or if you ever want to be on a part of the show, reach out to us. Everyone here from Whitetail Advantage is more than willing to stop what they're doing, help you out, and give you the best advice and steer you into the right direction as possible. In any direction. You guys know our personalities. You guys know us by now, what we're most kind of quote unquote experienced in the most. Obviously, you're probably not going to want to ask me a lot of saddle questions. I can tell you what the kind of stuff to avoid, but Johnny, Squatch, and then there goes stuff like that. Hybrid hunting, ask Dave. I can go on and on. But thank you again to everyone. Thank you to everyone in the military. Thank you to all the police officers, firefighters, doctors. Shut the fuck up, Johnny. I gotta thank them for their service too. I was them. I gave thanks to you for your service, even though you got shot in the neck, so it doesn't really fucking count. So shut the fuck up. And
I don't have to do it up anymore. You gotta do it all for me. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. So again, thank you to everyone that's in the public service world. Thank you. Our shows do get released in the hunting season a little differently, but generally Monday and Wednesdays at 5 a.m. Eastern time. Make sure to stay tuned for Johnny's show. His first show is going to be this Tuesday, the 28th. It's not going to start at 8 o'clock like his normal shows are, but this show is going to be starting at 9:30 this Tuesday. So make sure to stay tuned for that. It's a different time for that show for this Tuesday. Mysteries in the Timbers, hosted by Johnny. I'm going to be on, not as a host or anything like that. I'm just on there as a guest. And as you guys know, the Frank and Squatch show, Johnny's show of Mysteries in the Timber, that's their show. If I come on, I'm simply as a guest, just as a mere pretty face to join the show and stuff like that. It's their show. It's their baby. They're the boss, not me. So I just want to make sure we point that out to you guys. But with that being said, Squatch, how can people reach out to you, man?
You guys know you can always find me here on Whitetail Advantage on Sunday nights, Tuesday nights usually too, but we're doing the Frank and Squatch show every other week. You can also check me out sometimes on Boondocks, Hunting Outdoors with Mike Nitre, the Garden State Outdoorsman podcast. Same title, Outdoors and More with the Squatch on Instagram, YouTube, all that fun, happy horse shit.
Johnny, how about you, man?
Yeah, check me out on Instagram, Johnny Nitro Night. I'm on there. I'm on here I don't want to say every Sunday, but for most part Sundays. And then like Brett said, Tuesday, 9:30, we're going to start off my own podcast, Mysteries in the Timber. It's going to be a great time. The first episode is going to be a hometown legend, or not really legend, but hometown story of Stephen Kubecki, a man who disappeared and then reappeared. And there's a whole lot of stuff behind that. We're going to dive deep into that. And I'm, like Brett said, I'm going to have Brett on the podcast to answer some questions that I have on how the law enforcement side went searching for him. So either jump on Tuesday night and watch, or check us out on the download once it hits.
Again, thank you to everyone. And Squatch.
Yeah, man.
Take us on out.
So, guys, we're going to take it on out with prayer like we usually close our shows down. I came up with Psalm 104:10 through 24. And it starts out, He makes springs pour water into the ravines. It flows between the mountains. They give water to all the beasts of the field. The wild donkeys quench their thirst. The birds of the sky nest by the waters. They sing among the branches. He makes grass grow for the cattle and plants for the people. to cultivate, bringing forth food from the earth. How many are your works, Lord? In wisdom you make them all. The earth is full of your creatures. On that note, like always, shoot straight. God bless you all. And the Whitetail Advantage is out. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Whitetail Advantage Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you next time.